Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Steve with Rake and Profit over rakeandprofit.com, coming back to you with another video from the eBay to Amazon Mastermind. We're here with Mr. Aaron in Oklahoma. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, doing fantastic. So today I want to talk to Aaron a little bit about his journey. You've been selling on Amazon for how long in total now? Like, when did you first get into this, this world of just selling on Amazon?
So I started in last August, so August of 22. I started out with just books and was thrifting and, hit all the regular thrift stores.
The
Goodwills, the mom and pop shops, and then I got into DVDs, and now I sell about anything and everything.
How long did you do like the thrifting and all that, which is what I always recommend to people. I don't recommend jumping into OA, E2A, any of that before you have usually at least like a couple months of experience, just so you can understand how to analyze deals and Keepa and the buy box. How long were you doing that until now you're mostly E2A?
Yeah, so I did books and DVDs for about 3 to 4 months.
Perfect.
And then the EDA masterclass came out and jumped head first right into it.
You were like one of the founding members, I think, right? You got it at the best deal possible.
Oh yeah, I got the big discount, the big Rake and Profit discount.
What were you doing in sales the first, if you don't mind me asking, the first like 3 to 4 months, just total revenue with thrifting and all that, if you could remember?
Oh, so probably total of maybe, it was less than 30,000 in the first 4 months.
Okay, so that's not too bad. So you were doing what, 4, 5, 6, 7 grand a month?
So I think last September was about 5,000, and then maybe creeped up to 8 to 10 in maybe October, November.
Yeah.
And December, Q4.
Oh, because you hit Q4. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you started with that, and then you moved into E2A. I guess we'll jump the gun. Where are you now in your business, and we'll kind of reverse engineer how you did it. So what are your current sales? And maybe you could share what your ROI and like average margins are and whatnot.
Yeah, so current sales, this month I should hit about 50,000.
Let's go, man.
Yeah. I would say profit margin, ROI probably roughly around 50%.
Yep,
and,
ROI,
Yep.
And your gross profit's what, 20, 25, I would assume?
Yeah. So average sales price, I'm creeping around that $50 mark. So then we're hoping to increase it, get into some new niches, and increase it maybe up to that $75, $80 mark.
Well, that's cool, man. That's awesome, man. What's really exciting, I'm going to jump all around because Aaron and I, we've been friends for a while. We've talked quite a bit. He's actually getting ready to, well, you've already bought an RV, right?
Bought the RV, waiting on buy the truck.
So this guy's crazy. He's crazy. He's got 2 kids, what?
4 kids.
Four kids, 2 dogs.
3 dogs and a cat.
My brain is about to explode already. And he's going to take them all in an RV, travel the country while running your eBay to Amazon business. How the heck are you going to pull that off now?
The first step is to get a prep center. So
we've been talking a lot about that at the mastermind.
Yeah, so we got to find somewhere to ship all those good stuff from eBay.
Please don't do it out of the RV. No, you're gonna drive your family away.
Maybe do a little RA.
Yeah.
Depends on what part of the country we're in. But we're gonna be traveling all throughout the U.S., so I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to find some good deals. So
when is this whole RV thing going down? Because right now you're prepping everything. It comes to your house, sort of like me.
Yeah.
Well, if I had a house, and after. Folks who know, they know.
Yeah, so this January 2024, so we're going to hit the road and probably stay in the South, during the winter and have some good weather.
Yeah, very cool. So, all right, so January 1st, taking off. So step number 1 for you is prep center. You need a prep center. And for folks who don't know what a prep center is, it's essentially it's like a business or a company that will allow you to send your products to them and they'll prep it. So they'll receive it, they'll open the box, they'll polybag it, they'll inspect it, and they'll essentially ship it to Amazon on your behalf. Now, I don't have a prep center, but this was like a big thing. So like Josiah, Checkmate Flips, for any E2A folks, these guys, they're the big dogs in the industry. They both use prep centers. What are your thoughts on this? Like, what are your next steps to get a prep center?
So to look in my home state, Oklahoma, first of all, I'm trying to find that one so I don't have to change and try to get tax exempt in a different state. I mean, it's helpful with eBay. We can get tax exempt pretty easily, but you got to make sure you're in that state that you are tax exempt. So that's step number 1. Yep. Is to figure out which state I want to have it. And then I'll probably interview maybe 3 or 4, try to make sure how much it's going to cost per item, make sure they're legitimate and it's not out of a house. You actually want to make
You don't want to get Tiger Lilied.
Yes, don't want to do that. But then hopefully get it off the ground, this next month.
Yeah.
Just try it out maybe a little bit, send a little bit of stuff and make sure that it'll be a good fit.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool, man. I'm excited to kind of see how this plays out. And I'm trying to convince him, get a YouTube channel going, because how cool would that be to follow someone doing E to A out of an RV? Like, imagine that, like you're in your RV. Do you have like a little table and stuff? And because it's pretty big, I'm sure it has like a kitchen and everything.
We do have a kitchen. I may work out of my bedroom. I'm not sure. I'll do a little makeshift desk with the computer, maybe a monitor.
What about internet? How are you going to get internet?
So we have found a great one called OTR Mobile.
Okay,
and
OTR Mobile.
We've got a mobile device, so you can actually, it's kind of like the hotspot. So I'll be able to carry it around with me to the beach.
Is it satellite? Is it connecting?
So no, it's not satellite. It connects off of AT&T and T-Mobile and Verizon. So you got all three. And then you also have a little device in your truck.
Yeah.
And so it's more like a modem. Right?
Yeah, like, I don't know. For me, it sounds amazing. Like, imagine like pulling your RV up. You have everything in your RV. You pull up to like a beautiful lake or like beside the beach. You're like on Flipmine drinking coffee. You know what I mean? Sourcing, shipping it to a prep center. I don't know. Like, it's funny. My girlfriend and I, we actually, you know, we live in Connecticut. Matter of fact, Zach, over near the Buckland Hills Mall, we live over near there. They had a whole parking lot full of RVs. We went and looked in all of them. Like, they're beautiful. Like, I could see myself maybe doing that in the future.
Oh, you should. It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh man, imagine we go next to each other in RVs. We're both sourcing.
Yeah,
that's the dream. So I'm actually curious, Aaron, why did you decide to do E2A? I've been asking everybody, why E2A instead of doing thrifting or RA or traditional OA or wholesale or like Heather here, private label? Why E2A? You know, that's the dangerous forbidden fruit.
So I've tried a few different things. I did a little bit of RA. I just felt like I was spending too much time in stores where I could be doing other things.
Away from your family.
Exactly. So it's thrifting, RA. I tried the Ross, the Target, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I found OA, just traditional OA. I tried a couple different programs that just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And with Flipmine, I just found it so easy. It was streamlined. I know where the good deals are, can get ungated on certain brands. And you know, you're coaching. I mean, as a mentor, you did great.
I give you the credit because the honest truth is, like, you know, you just have to take action. You have to focus, take action, and you certainly did that. A couple of times you tried to jump ship to other things, and I had to steer you back on track. But you know, there's levels to this game, and who knows? Maybe in a year from now, you'll be doing other OA stuff or wholesale or anything like that. What are your thoughts on like the margins in this business? Profit?
On eBay, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've got 3 VAs now, and so I set at one point 100% or more, and they are actually still able to find stuff. And I mean, it was a little bit slower. I released them a little bit, went down to about to 60%, and they were able to find more. But there's so much good stuff out there.
And if people don't think that you can make, don't believe me and Aaron. Go to Checkmate Flip's YouTube channel. So Checkmate Flip Seth, he's here. That guy's a wild animal. I'll tell you right now, he's all nice on YouTube. You get him in the pool, he's like smashing freaking pool balls against Josiah's head. But anyways, he's got a $100,000 challenge where he's gonna spend $100,000 in 100 days with 100% ROI. So he's like documenting the whole journey like a maniac. I love it. So check that out. It's 100% free. But yeah, that's really cool. What's the lowest ROI or profit you'll deal with? Let's say profit, like will you flip an item that makes $3 like a book at a thrift store, or do you have a higher standard when you're doing eBay to Amazon?
Definitely higher standard. So on the program I use, SellerAmp, my minimum profit right now is 5.
Okay.
Of course, I don't want to be down on that on a lot of stuff, but I can do a few things. You know, those quick flips.
Yeah.
Get your money back real quick. ROI, minimum right now is 50%.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And you have 3 virtual assistants.
Yes.
So
I hired them about 3 months ago, one by one, about every 2 weeks for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And looking to actually hire 1 or 2 more maybe by the
Really? And for people who are wondering, like, is it expensive? Is it affordable? What are you paying? $2,000-$3,000 per VA?
No. So they're so great, and they're well worth the money. I pay about $400 a month for each one.
Yeah, it's pretty common, $300 to $500. I have some VAs that I pay more because I offer incentives. I have some that I start off less, but yeah, $400 is pretty normal for what, full-time work?
Oh yeah, they work 40 hours a week. Source.
And what do they? 5 days a week. And what do they do? Just source, or do they reprice? Do they fix stranded inventory?
I've got 2 of them just sourcing, and the other one, she does a little bit of sourcing, but also some admin work for me. Some stuff, you know, I don't want to spend the time doing. And that's why you got to have that CEO mentality.
And did you start doing E to A with VAs, or did you slowly build over time and say, you know, I want to have some of my time back, or maybe as you scaled, maybe when you were I'll put it this way, at what point were you when you hired VAs? Like, did you hire VAs when you were at $30K a month, $40K a month, $5K a month?
So I was kind of stuck at the $20K per month, and I just couldn't get it over the hump.
I feel like you were there just recently.
I was. July was the last month I was at $20K. And then last month, August, I went up to 35K, and hopefully this month hit 50K. So those VAs have been helping a ton to be able to get
That's wild.
inventory.
And it's funny, like I go to conferences all the time, and even people here, they look at like folks like you and me, and they're like, oh, he's doing 50, 60, like Josiah does around 100. Checkmate, I think he's doing like 80 or 90. There's a guy, Jonathan, I interviewed, he's around 100. And people look up like, wow, they're so special. Not to obviously like downplay what we're doing, but it all comes down to spend, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like it's not that hard to find good deals. Like I understand, like when I first started, I thought it was impossible to find deals on eBay, but now that you're in it, it's almost like it's easy, right? Once you know, you know.
Oh yeah. It all depends on the brand. I mean, you got to be able to figure out, and the niche. You got to figure out what you want to buy.
Yeah.
There's tons of lower item stuff, and I still do a few things and toys, and there's lower cost item stuff that maybe make 5 or 10 profit, but there's so many good deals in electronics.
Yeah, and like sometimes I'll even deal with items like I might only make a 20% ROI, but they sell so fast. Like my electronics just move. Sometimes I'll put up $100 just to make $20 profit, but it's gone. It's just like, okay, I'll pick up a $20 bill on the ground, but I have the capital. If you're, let me ask this, Aaron, maybe someone only has a couple $1,000s. They've been doing thrifting, garage sales, like they understand the basics of Amazon. They've been doing it 3-4 months. They want to start E2A. Maybe they only have 1,000 or 2,000 of capital. Like what advice would you give that person? I know it's a big question, right? The pressure's on you, man. Their livelihood is in your hands right now. Like what should they go after? Is there a best category? Should they be pickier about their profit margin? Should they flip 20% stuff or go after 80%?
I would say you go after those low items. I mean, go to the DVDs. There's some toys. There's even some lower electronics that you really can flip pretty easily.
Even Lego. There's some cheaper Legos you can flip.
Legos are great. And you want to look what's fastest selling, because you want to flip those over fast and get your money back to reinvest into something else.
Yeah. What are your top tools that you're using? Like this will be like a speed round. Like what do you use for sourcing?
Flipmine.
Flipmine. What about like analyzing deals when you're like trying to understand like how much profit, ROI?
Keepa and SellerAmp.
Keepa and SellerAmp. Awesome. Yeah, it seems like SellerAmp and like RevSeller are the two that a lot of people use. What about repricing?
Be cool. It's the only way to go.
Ooh, what about anything to like track your sales or anything to keep organized, bookkeeping, any of that stuff?
So I do have a bookkeeper, a VA bookkeeper.
Yeah,
and
we're not saying her name. We use the same person.
No.
We've given her away to like, we got her from Avery and then we passed her to a couple other people and now she doesn't respond to us.
And then I use your ETA master sheet.
Yeah,
it's so easy. It's so streamlined.
Yeah, cool, man. So I guess what are your goals, man? Like you've got the RV you're moving into, the pressure's on, right? The family's counting on you.
Yeah.
The dogs.
My big goal is by the end of the year to hit 75,000. So my goal post is probably about 100,000 to be able to feel good and just keep it there. I may go a little bit above, but that is a high goal.
Yeah, gotcha. And do you want to, like, once you hit that goalpost, by the way, shout out to Josiah. Like, is that Josiah? He's right there. Oh, Josiah's right over. That is so creepy. Josiah literally coined the phrase, right? He's going to be coming out with a book soon. Hopefully, we'll see. He talked about, like, one of my struggles has been, like, so what the goalpost means is, like, I remember 6 months ago, I was like, I want to do like 30,000. Then I was like, I'm going to chill out once I hit 30. Then I was like, I'm going to do 50. And then recently I hit 70, whatever. And now I'm like, I want to go to 100. And he's like, well, eventually you've got to like set the goalpost somewhere so you can take money. And if you're new in thrifting, you might not understand this because your cost of goods is so low. But when you're in E2A, one of the downsides, and I'm sure you would agree as well, is cash flow. Mm-hmm. And the problem is if you're always growing, you're investing all your profits into the business, you're never able to pay yourself. So eventually you have to set a goalpost somewhere so you're not always like spending so much to grow. So at 75K, you could probably pay yourself a pretty nice little...
Yeah, and I don't necessarily have to right now, which is great. And so I can keep building that business, putting the profit back in. And 75K, in 2 months, 3 months, especially during Q4.
Yeah.
And it's definitely possible.
I'm super pumped up for this Q4 since I'm like bigger into like electronics and tools and toys. What advice would you give to folks right now to kind of wrap things up? Like they're thinking about maybe starting E2A, maybe they've been thrifting or doing books, or maybe they're struggling to find stuff at the thrift store. Like, oh, I'm sick and tired of traveling all over. Maybe they want to start getting products coming to them. They're willing to spend a little money. Like, what advice would you give if they're scared and they're like, oh, I'm gonna get kicked off, or IPs, or I don't know if I'm smart enough?
Yeah, you really gotta start out slow. And so that's why people definitely recommend starting out in books. You gotta learn the game of Keepa, the game of SellerAmp, the game of just Amazon overall.
It's different than thrifting because you're putting up. You don't have 300% margins.
No, you don't. But you gotta put your foot in there sometime. Don't be scared. try it out a little bit. Buy 5-10 items, get it in, ship it. You can't be scared. Can't be scared of line.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to like quit doing whatever you're doing. Like maybe you're doing retail arbitrage or traditional OA or thrifting. You don't just stop doing it 100%. Like you take that 100% pie and like maybe you take a little 10% slice and start going into E2A and then 20% and 30%. If you have success, you keep going. If not, you don't do it. I mean, so that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm excited. I really wanted to get this video down because I want to do like, you know what my goal is, man? I hope that you pull up to my house in your RV and we do an update, man. That would be sweet.
Oh, I'd love to. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So, hey, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, Steve.
I'm going to try to get him to do some social media. So in the future, I may update the description with a YouTube channel.
All right.
We'll see. But thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate you all, Aaron. Thank you so much.
you.
Much love.